This video is on an introduction to oxidation and reduction. So you'll notice in your packet that you've got 3 sections. Today we're going to talk about the introduction of your notes, and then we'll talk about how to figure out what the oxidation's numbers are in a compound or in a reaction, and there's a Moodle homework for that. And then we'll talk about reactions and how to talk about redox reactions, and there's another Moodle homework for that. At the end, we're going to have a quiz, and that's a 50-point quiz. So what is oxidation? Oxidation is loss of electrons, and when that happens, the charge or the oxidation number goes up. Reduction is gain of electrons, which seems weird, except if you think about it in terms of charge, when you gain electrons, the charge goes down, and that's why we call it reduction, or it's reduced. Oxidation and reduction always occur together at the same time, so that if one atom is, the charge is going up, the other atom, the charge is going down. So in this case, A is getting oxidized and B is getting reduced, and they always happen together. This is called a redox reaction, and redox means reduction and oxidation together. Redox reactions are really important in batteries. So in a battery, you've got one metal that's gaining electrons and the other one is giving electrons, and as the electrons move back and forth, they go through a wire, and that gives us power. So that's how a battery works. Definitely involves redox reactions. There is a really helpful way to remember the rules, and that is Leo the lion goes grr. And I've given you a picture of a lion to help you remember. So Leo is loss of electrons is oxidation, and grr is gain of electrons is reduction. So when you forget, you get confused, just remember Leo the lion goes grr. So again, oxidation and reduction always happen simultaneously together. So we're going to look at an example of a reaction where you've got magnesium, and it is a metal. It's not sharing electrons, so its oxidation number is 0. Plus chlorine, also by itself, it's 0, and that combines to make magnesium chloride. So let's look at the metal first. We're going to look at magnesium. So what happens to magnesium in this reaction? Magnesium is starting out at 0, and it ends up at +2, so it has lost 2 electrons. So we put those electrons on the right-hand side of the equation because they're lost, and this is a half reaction for magnesium. And because it is a loss of electrons, it's oxidation, because remember Leo, loss of electrons is oxidation. So we call this the oxidation half reaction. So then we look at the nonmetal, chlorine, and chlorine starts out at 0, but it ends up at -1. So chlorine gains an electron. The electron goes on the left-hand side of the equation because it's gained. So a gain of electrons, the charge goes down, and this is the reduction half reaction. Gain of electrons is reduction, grr.